Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope everybody's having a great week. We are back with some more NBA content once more. The last video I did NBA related was June 2nd. So it's been a solid 2 months since I last did anything NBA related. And it's time that we get back in the flow of things. We are roughly about another month away till NBA 2K23 comes out, which I plan on getting the championship edition for the fact that you get the NBA League Pass for about roughly $30 cheaper. Actually, no, closer to $60 cheaper. You get the 2K and all the glitz and glamour, the apparel, the VC, so on and so forth. But you get the League Pass, which is usually $120. The game itself is $60. So you get roughly about $30 off of getting both at the same time. So I plan on getting the championship edition. And we're going to be blowing this channel up with nothing but like NBA reactions, NBA 2K23, my career, and my team. We are going to be blowing up NBA 2K because I know you guys, most of you have subscribed around a year ago. And my channel has blown up ever since. But without further ado, we are going to get into the NBA Point Guard 2022-2023 season rankings, showing you my thought process, my opinion, which you guys let me know down in the comments of your top point guard, your lowest point guard, what your predictions are for the NBA season, so on and so forth. But we're going to get right into it. As you can tell, the very, very, very bottom is not applicable in A. For an example, there we go. For an example, hold on a second. There we go. For an example, Jamal Murray, we do not know the full circumstance of when he's going to be getting healthy. Same with Ben Simmons. To me, those are like pretty much the only two, in my opinion, that really stand out as not applicable. Same with Damian Lillard to an extent because he was out pretty much the whole season. That those players, we don't know the full circumstance of how their health is. So I put them in the non-applicable category. And then, of course, we gotta get the mainstay. Actually, we'll start from the top and work our way down. We're gonna put Chris Paul at an A so far. Well, not even so far. We'll probably keep him in an A. Based off of the regular season alone, he deserves at least an A, if not during the regular season, an S. The reason why he does not get the S is the playoffs. Let's be honest. As the season progresses, his injuries start to add up. He starts to get more injured during the playoffs. During this past postseason, he played absolutely awful. He had, I think, more turnovers / fouls more than points, and it was pretty rough for him this past postseason. I hope that he does get healthy, and I hope that after how this postseason had turned out, that he can go realize that have some load management time, take off some games. Let's be honest, that's how today's game is, and how players are today. They take off games because they know the most important thing is the playoffs and to win a championship. He knows that he wants to win a championship to solidify himself as one of the top 3 point guards, if not the best point guard of all time. So for me, he's at a solid A, no less than an A. Next up is Deandra Russell. He's starting to dwindle off for the fact that we have Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, and now you have Rudy Gobert. He's not going to get as many shots comparatively to D'Angelo Russell, but he has actually improved as a player for the fact that he went from an okay defender, at times maybe even pretty terrible defender, but he has actually tried to progress as a person to have better defense. I put him at least a B. He might even turn up, but based off of Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards alone, let alone Josh Okogie, I think, who else went up going there? I can't remember who else went there. trying to think of. I think there was another player. Oh, Austin Rivers. He's going to get his shot. I believe that he could turn things around, but with Anthony Edwards, talks of him possibly getting most improved player / in the MVP talks, let alone Karl-Anthony Towns, taking away the ball handling from Deandra Russell and Anthony Edwards, because there are talks of him playing the point forward, or pretty much a point forward, because they'll probably play him at the 4. I like him at the B grade. Lonzo Ball is another one that I'm very leery of, for the fact that I might put him in non-applicable, because he did pretty much sat the whole season. We don't know the full circumstance of his health. When healthy, he is at least a C, if not, or at the very least a C, if not an A, because his ball handling, his defense, his three-point shot has actually improved significantly. And so, to me, those are just huge strides as a player from whenever he was on the Lakers, where he played good defense, had good ball handling. He had a little bit of everything. His shot wasn't there, but he has improved as a player. So I put him in not applicable. So far, I might even getting rid of the non-applicable as we progress through this video, for the fact that everybody has an injury of some sort. Even the 2 top people have an injury of some sort. So next up is Jalen Brunson. I think I'm going to put him in a B, for the fact that there's going to be a lot of pressure, especially the amount of money that he had taken from the New York Knicks. 4-year, $100 million, $25 million a year. He was the main target for the New York Knicks. They went and brought in his father to be a part of this staff that put a lot of pressure to get him to come to the team. He wanted to get away from Luka Doncic. So to me, that's a lot of pressure. Does he have the right pieces around him? R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, not Sharif Cooper. Can't think of the kid's name. He was a point guard. Grimes? Quentin Grimes? I know that was a former cornerback for the Dolphins at one point. I want to say that's the kid's name. I know his last name is Grimes. I don't think it's Quentin Grimes. But they have a very solid foundation of a team. Could they make that leap to be a championship with the addition of Jalen Brunson? Probably not. I could possibly even see him going down to a C, because that's a lot of pressure they put on him to sign this contract, to come get them to that next level of the playoffs. By golly, this past postseason, the way he played, he was a bucket and a half. Him playing next to Luka at times, playing next to Spencer Dinwiddie at times, tore up the guy that was above him, Chris Paul. And so that's why I kind of am leaning towards keeping him at a solid B, not lowering him to a C, but yet I think the pressure of being in New York, I think is going to be a little bit too much for him. Next up is Trey Young. Again, I'm going to put him at a B, for the fact that this postseason showed that his height and his play style has the teams have figured it out. Miami tore him up a new one. He went and had a terrible postseason. I think there was one game he went 3 of 12. Another game he went 0 for 6 on threes. Couldn't get the ball out of his hands because they would double team him. Try to force it out. And the players around him, by golly, it does not help matters that John Collins did all right, but he was just coming back from an injury. Clint Capella is a good player, but he's not an amazing player at the center position. There's a lot of kind of worrisome moments for this young Hawk squad, in that Nate McMillan does help a good job trying to get them to play better defense, but Trey Young's only able to do so much at 5'11". I'm wanting to see him be more efficient with his shot, show that he can go and be the Trey Young of playmaking along with facilitating. There's 2 different ways of looking at the ball handling mechanics of passing and being able to go and give opportunities for the teammates to, when he goes into the paint, to be that playmaker, to get open lanes for his teammates, is another way of looking at it for playmaking. But Trey Young, I think, is going to be at a solid B. He's not going to be anything less than a C. He's going to get you buckets at times. He's going to get you 30-plus points at times. Sometimes he'll get you only 10. He's in that weird circumstance. My boy. My dude. My dude. So, to the people that have been watching this channel since 2K22, I was drafted to the Memphis Grizzlies. I played along with Desmond Bane, DeAnthony Melton, Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams, and I played myself as the shooting guard. I played the perimeter defender. I was a two-way guard, sharpshooter, more specifically, two-way sharpshooter. In the backcourt of him and I was phenomenal. Him and as an actual person, this has nothing to do with 2K. He has jumped up significantly. He was most improved. Most improved. It was John Morant. Most improved. Yeah. It was my boy John Morant. He has solidified himself as one of the best players in the league. I do worry at times about his defense, but his athleticism catches up to where he's able to block shots, get help with that defense, to be able to go around corners to help pick that ball. I do want to see him improve in that category only. Outside of that, he has improved in every way. Went from 2 years ago where he was kind of hesitant on shooting that three ball because he was worried to miss shots. He didn't want to pull a Ben Simmons. He didn't want to pull a Westbrook where he's missing shot after shot after shot. He wanted to be as good of a player as he was able to. This past year, shot nearly 40%. I want to say nearly. Well, hold on. I'm hyping up my boy John Morant. I want to make certain my boy John Morant did at least get 38%. Basketball reference. We can show it right here real quick. John Morant shot 34%. That's not terrible. 1.5 makes on 4.5 attempts. It's not bad. I would like to see him try to get that to a 2. If not, maybe a 2. It would be amazing at a 2.5, because then that'd be over 50%. So a solid 2, make 2 3-pointers on 4.5 attempts would get him at that, near that, actually roughly about 40%. But his game as a player has increased significantly. I love John Morant. Big shout outs to the boy. Next step is to win a championship. By golly, yes, winning MVP shows that you're the most valuable player in the league, but let's hope that you could help get the Memphis Grizzlies their first championship and that you help them in any way. My apologies. About 13 minutes in, we're going to go and say, headphone users, be very careful, because I had a nice little clap because gnats are driving me nuts. Next up is Darius Garland. Phenomenal player. This is where it gets tricky, because we're going to have a lot of Bs. I think I worry about his facilitating. I want to say he did a decent job. Darius Garland. Basketball reference. He averaged 3.6 turnovers on 8.6 assists per game. To me, the assists stay where you're at. You are perfectly fine. He has increased his assists significantly, but let's try to see if he can tone down the turnovers. I think they should help him out by re-signing Colin Sexton. I think he would be a great backcourt. By golly, they already have Karis LeVert. They got Josh Okoro? I know it's Okoro. Josh Okoro? I know it's Okoro. For the life of me, I cannot think of Okoro? Isaac Okoro. Cedi Osman, Kevin Love, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. Great, solid foundation of a young squad developing in Cleveland. Just worried about those turnovers. Tone that down a little bit. Don't turn over the ball as much, and man, he would be at least a solid A, if not up in there in the S. Young player, high potential. I love that they had that opportunity to have Darius Garland blossom to this far after the injury of Ricky Rubio and Colin Sexton. They have improved so much. I want to see them and continue to improve. Try to get to that 6th seed so that way they don't have to be a part of that play-in tournament. But he is still an amazing young player. Next up, this is where it starts to get tricky because the next 4 players, I kind of want to put them at the B level. Including Darius Garland. It kind of starting to get... What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this move. Ooh. This is getting kind of shaky. Because I love Darius Garland and the next 4 players. So we'll get back to them here in a second. I'm trying to wrap my head around them because their play style is not very similar, but they both are, all 4 of them are buckets. They all have great ball handling, facilitating, so I'm kind of worried about them for that sake. This is a rebuild team. This young man has the potential to be an amazing, but after the trade of Jamal Murray, this is a lot of pressure for them to have him at the point guard, starting point guard. That's a lot of pressure for a young man in Joshua Primo. By golly, is he that bad? I see him as more of a potential. So that's why I kind of want to put him at the C. But I'm going to be smart about this. I kind of also put him at D, but he did play some games. For that fact, I'm going to probably keep him at a D. He averaged 1 assist to 1 turnover, only 5 points. He averaged 11 attempts at the field goal. Not just 3-pointers, but field goals. And he only made 4. I like to see him just have that opportunity to play starter minutes, show his potential of being a former 12th pick overall. So, had that opportunity at least. Next up, again, this is getting dicey. Between these 5, I love all 5 of them. Mccollum, B. And that's why I kind of want to move up these 5 young men, just because of that fact that if I Mccollum up here, I kind of want to move them up to the A rank because they have that potential. Not only potential, but they've actually shown their potential. Again, this is why I kind of want to keep... This is getting hairy. Because I love Drew Holiday. Him at the point guard is phenomenal news for them. They have him, Grayson Allen, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, and Brook Lopez. They have Bobby Portis coming off the bench. They had the other Giannis Antetokounmpo. So they got great squad. At times during that finals run that they had, he showed off the Drew Holiday that I know that is there. The 76ers Drew Holiday that he averaged, I think he had at one point 26 points, 17 assists on high efficiency shots. The guy is an absolute stud. His defense has improved significantly since the 76ers days, which is crazy because he was still a great defender back then, but he's one of the best, if not the best, backcourt defending guard in the league right now, in my opinion. So that's why I want to keep him in an A. I love Jrue Holiday. The injuries have not added up as much. He is actually starting to play a significant amount of games. I love Jrue Holiday tremendously. This guy, Mr. Reggie Jackson, he has found his role. He has went from being on the Detroit Pistons, where he got his buckets, but the amount of buckets that he attempted, he was not shooting efficient shots. He was playing pretty bad defense. He was starting to fall out of the league. He went and became best buds with Paul George, came to the Clippers, and has gotten a whole new life and a whole new love for basketball. And so for me, he is at least a C. And part of me wants to put him at a B, but I'm going to keep him in a C for the fact that you already have Paul George, who's going to be able to, he has good ball handling. Kawhi Leonard, who has improved his ball handling, is going to have the ball in his hands at times. You have Luke Kennard, who's going to run the point guard. John Wall is going to run the point guard. So that's why this list is better than the previous, or another list that we, at one point, I was looking at the 2022-2023 season point guard tier list. That was a really irrational comparatively to this one. I would like to see John Wall instead, because I think they'll probably have Reggie Jackson come off the bench, and then John Wall will start. Just because John Wall is trying to get that momentum, that showing that, hey, I'm one of the best point guards in the league. I'm going to start, and then have Reggie Jackson come off the bench as a sixth man. Or hell, they might even have him at shooting guard. Slide Paul George back to the small forward, Kawhi at power forward. I don't know the full circumstance of how the season is going to pan out, but he's still going to be a solid point guard / backup point guard. Marcus Smart, he's B. I think do I like that? Yeah, I like that a lot. Again, point guard to me is, by golly, Marcus Smart at point guard is really good, if not great at times, but it doesn't help matters that Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown have improved their ball handling, their playmaking / facilitating, that he doesn't have the ball nearly as much as hands. To me, he's more of a shooting guard than a point guard, but they do list him as a point guard. There are moments where he does a great job at point guard, but to me, those top three are easily better not in every way, but they are better than the people below them. They are more consistent, more efficient at running the point guard position. And that's why I kind of want to also put this gentleman right here at point guard, or not point guard, but put him in the A category, because he is, again, very solid at the point guard position. This is where it gets hairy. Just like Reggie Jackson, they're listing actually James Harden on some sites, James Harden as the point guard, and then Tyrese Maxey, or they're listing, some websites are listing James Harden at point guard, Tyrese at shooting guard. Some are saying Tyrese at point guard and James Harden at shooting guard. But I'm fairly certain I've been hearing a lot of people also say that they're going to have James Harden be a facilitator / shooter in general. So I'm kind of, I don't know how to really feel about Tyrese at the point guard. He's a great, he's a bucket and a half. He's unbelievable. I love Tyrese. He's going to be a future superstar. And so I'm going to put him in the B range. do I like him more so than some of these others? Do I like that? Kyle Lowry, B? Yeah, I like him at B. Yeah, I like him at B. He's solid. But we're gonna go and talk about these guys real quick. Tyrese Halliburton, Indiana Pacer, not Indiana boy. Indiana Pacer. He averaged 20 points, 10 assists, and was shooting like 40% from three. He played great defense. In some of the 76ers game, he only had 6 assists on 4 turnovers, which was pretty rough. But he only averaged like two turnovers a game on 10 assists while shooting 20 points a game. He was at least 18, if not up to 20 points. Absolute stud. At the very end of the season, showed that he could be and he might be the future of the Indiana Pacers, along with Benedict Mathurin, Duarte, Isaiah Jackson, Jalen Brown. We got quite a young stud group going on. Nebhard, we got a hell of a squad going on. I love Tyrese Halliburton. And then Cade Cunningham, of course. I mean, the runner-up, I want to say he was third, for the fact that Evan Mobley was, I think, second, and then it was Scotty Barnes that was first, for the fact that Scotty Barnes didn't get injured and played pretty much the whole season comparatively to Evan Mobley and to Cade Cunningham. That's why Cade was only, I think he might have tied for second with Evan Mobley at the end of the season, but he's still one of the future players of the league, along with Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey. People were worried about Killian Hayes, and big shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Crispy Flakes. He loves a lot of these players. People are starting to get a little bit worried about Killian Hayes, though. Marvin Bagley, Kelly Olynyk's still under contract. Don't know. He's not going to be a part of the future with this team. I would have loved to see the Detroit Pistons re-sign Jeremy Grant to a contract extension. By golly, he's only 26 years old. Give him at least another 2-year contract. That second year being a player option. The same amount, maybe a little bit more, $25 million a year, because he was a potential all-star, but sometimes you have to move on, and he is a little bit older than some of these other players. They did get a first-round pick, a 2025 first-round pick. So it was a very interesting trade to get rid of Jeremy Grant, but still quite the young squad. They ended up getting Jalen Duren during the draft. They got quite a young squad, and Cade Cunningham's part of that future. LaMelo Ball, I worry about his defense a lot. With the other three above, I kind of put Garland down here with LaMelo because of their defense is kind of to be wanted. It's kind of worrisome for their defense. By golly, they're still a part of the Trey Young, where they are unbelievable young, good / great talent, but their defense worries me a ton, and it's to be desired. And so I like them being there, part of that B category. Cole Anthony is an absolute stud. He's in the B category. Absolute stud. Clutch. He actually did pretty bad, actually, now I think about it. If I remember correct. But I still love Cole Anthony a lot. Like, if he did actually kind of underperformed 16 points. He averaged 39% from the field on 33.8% from the three-point line. Kind of dial back on the amount of threes that he attempts. He makes 2 and he attempts 6 three-pointers a game, but he averages 14 field goals and makes 5.5 of them, so nearly 40% from the field, which is okay. 85% from the free throw line is decent. 5.7 assists on 2.6 turnovers. So dial back those turnovers. Again, I am perfectly fine with the amount of assists. 5.7 is pretty solid. But like what he could do is actually move up the assists, keep those turnovers down, maybe move up to try to get up to 8 assists, and that makes that ratio of assist to turnover significantly better. Maybe try to get a steal a game. He's only averaging 0.7 steals per game this past season, so kind of worrisome to a degree, but he has actually improved as a player. So I will keep Cole Anthony at a B. This man, A. Or not A, but an S. The guy was clutch during the playoffs. The guy tore up Chris Paul a new one. It wasn't even close. Tore up Devin Booker. They were talking some major trash. And he actually improved significantly during the playoffs. His amount of shots and efficiency has went down, but he's still clutch. He still averages nearly a triple-double without really even attempting to try to do a triple-double like Westbrook. So I find him as one of the best young point guards, along with John Morant. Easily some of the top point guards in the league. Fred VanVleet, A. Big props to you, Toronto. You guys have a hell of a point guard in Fred VanVleet. A very underrated defender. Can shoot the three-point. I think he shot 40% from 3. Facilitates pretty well. He does everything you want in a point guard. I absolutely love Fred VanVleet. My guy, CJ McCollum, I'm going to actually move Kyle Lowry down. And I might move another one down here in a second. I'm going to probably move Mike Conley down also. Try to make it a little bit more even. For the fact, make it a little bit more even, not as have B's across the board. The fact that Kyle Lowry, you already have Tyler Hero, who's going to get his shot. Jimmy Butler is going to get his shot. Bam Adebayo is going to have a ball handling / point center, point forward kind of build to him. You have Gabe Vincent. You have Yurt 7. You have the other point guard or another guard. Caleb Martin. Cody Martin's in Charlotte with LaMelo. That I find Kyle Lowry kind of taking a back, being in clutch at times, but he's starting to get older. And that's pretty much going to be the same thing with Mike Conley. That he's still going to be the leader of the team. These two are going to be like the leaders of the team, but they're going to probably take a step back, continue to be the veteran, to coach, and to help the young players understand basketball a little bit better. But their times with the NBA is getting shorter. By golly, Mike Conley might have more attempts at shooting and improving and trying to get back to being a all-star. But I think that he's going to let we already have Donovan Mitchell with them as a Buki. It's going to take him a couple of years to rebuild around Donovan Mitchell. They might even trade away Donovan Mitchell. In that case, Mike Conley might get traded away too. that whole situation, I kind of want to put Mike Conley down to a D for that fact that we don't know the full circumstance of where he's going to be in the near future, what team is going to be, and what his role is going to be like in the near future. Monty Morris, I want to put him in a D. I was upset initially whenever he got traded away from the Denver Nuggets for Contavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP or PCP, as Flight Reacts would say PCP. But I like him a lot. But I was initially very weary of that trade because I don't mind KCP, but I loved Monte Morris. But I guess a lot of Denver fans say that his defense is pretty abysmal. Will Barton is very shaky at times. So I kind of want to move him down to the D. They already went and drafted Dyson Daniels? Yeah, they drafted Dyson Daniels. They got Corey Kispert. Of course, Bradley Beal's going to run the point guard at times. I don't know how much usage we're going to see from Monte Morris. This guy, man, Mr. Kevin Porter Jr., he put up solid numbers, but it's also a part of a team that's rebuilding. Oh, man. Oh, hey. Shy, when healthy, he's clutch. He's only 20. Feels like he's been in the league for like 8 years, but he's only been in the league for 4 years. He's only like 23, 24 years old at the oldest. I don't want to say he's only like 23 at the oldest, but I want to say he's 22. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 98, so that make him 24 years old? Okay. Born July 12th, so he just about a month ago turned 24. So he's still got plenty of time. Around 26, 27 is where you start to hit that the momentum. You start to become the guy on your team. Start to become the guy on your team. So, and he still has time. He's already starting to put up amazing numbers, but kind of the numbers are shaky for the fact that he's playing again. It's just like Kevin Porter Jr. The numbers are kind of, they're not. I wouldn't go as far to say they are. They're not numbers that are like empty stats, is how people would say it, where you put up all these numbers, but you're not accumulating wins. I wouldn't go that far. Because again, in that case, Cade Cunningham, Tyrese would both be down in the C category with Kevin Porter Jr. because they both lost. Now that I say this out loud, I kind of need to rearrange this. Do I like that instead? Because wins do mean a lot, but they're showing potential. So it's not empty stats, but wins do help a lot, and they did perform to help get their teammates wins. No, I don't like Trey Young up there. I do like Darius Garland up there. He absolutely tore it up. I'm just trying to think of moves that would... Oh, man, this is getting rough. Because I want to knock some people down. Darren Fox. Man, this is rough. Oh, let's knock out some other stuff before we continue this. Steph Curry. I mean, it's Steph. Wardlow, Stephen Curry. Oh my God. The guy, people say he hasn't changed the game. There's people out there that absolutely hate him, despise him. The greatest shooter of all time. Hands down. That's where it gets tricky that this is point guard. I don't... by God, he's a playmaking guard. He does set up his teammates in the passing lane and shots. That's an interesting debate to call him one of the best point guards of all time. But oh yeah, he without no doubt in my mind, he's one of the best the best shooter of all time. And he's already racked up a ton of 3-pointers in his career. 3-point percentage, his career, 42% from 3. This past year, 38% from 3. 42% from 3. 40% is like amazing. For him, his lowest percentage was... Oh, that's no wonder why. He played 5 games 3 years ago and shows him at 24%. That's why his number had dipped so low. 38% was his second lowest, which was this past year. The rest of the time, 40s. And he's going to probably take a dip back on the amount of shots. He might go back down into like the 15s, the 13s, just because they have Klay Thompson now. They got Kuminga, Jordan Poole. Draymond Green's going to get his shots, which is not going to be a ton. But, yeah, he's unbelievable. One of the best point guards of all time. Or one of the best shooter of all time. One of the best point guards of all time. I just got to admit it. He actually makes really well for his teammate. He people say that he created gravity. I can see it. Like the minute people that he picks up the ball, they're already checking him in at like on the other side of the court. He has to go on all the other side of the court. They're already checking him right here. Pretty much the minute he touches the ball, they're already up in his face. Sometimes they double team him. Sometimes they even triple team him. They do whatever it takes that he does not touch the ball. He's easily right up there with those other 3. Westbrook. Okay. Laker fans, Ray Westbrook. I am not the biggest fan of people that threaten and talk about people's family, like Chris Paul's family, talking about Westbrook's family, LeBron's family, because he came to Indiana, I guess. A fan had talked about that his family got them banned, went down the other side of the court, hit a 3-pointer, started grabbing his crotch and acting as, you guys lost, It's like, okay. These are all supposedly fans talking about the player's family. We do not know the full circumstance if that is really truly the case. Westbrook, the thing is like what Oprah side has said, my boy TSO has said, which I will leave a link in the description of those 2 gentlemen's YouTube channel. Go check them out. Subscribe to them. To me, I have been very mellow and casual about some of this subject right now. These guys would go off on Westbrook. Like with me, I've been very casual. Again, make a shot. If you shot efficiently, don't have to attempt 20 plus shots a game. Get like 8 shots, make it mid-range, just go with the flow of the game. You don't have to run from this end of the goal to the other side of the goal court, one side of the court to the other side of the court in like 2 seconds. Go with the flow with LeBron and Davis. They'll eventually not catch up, but they'll be right there beside you because they are quite fast especially for one for being at his age and one being for a bigger guy. They'll get up there with you. You got Lonnie Walker. The potential is there for him to get back to being Westbrook, but you gotta make your shot, and that's just a matter of fact. Your family, it does affect them, in which it sucks, but you gotta make your shot, and this is the truth. This is trash talk. There's gonna be people. There's gonna be for every 10 fans that might call you Westbrook. There's tens of thousands of fans that love you for being Westbrook. That those fans will talk to your family about you being Russell Westbrook, a future Hall of Famer, a first ballot Hall of Famer probably, based off of your longevity, how you barely miss games a season. You have had multiple 20-20-20 games. You've had several efficient, amazing games that are going to solidify you into the Hall of Fame. But the simple fact is that you had a bad season, in which this is your time to turn this around, to prove to everybody that you are Russell Westbrook, a future Hall of Famer, but you just got to prove it. And right now, you're right there with Joshua Primo and Monty Morris. And these other people right below you, they're not applicable because they were injured. In which I'll probably actually they'll easily be up there in the A, at least B tier, if not A tier, maybe even S tier. Like, for example, like a Damian Lillard, he might be S tier, but they are injured. And so, just improve, become the Westbrook of the Thunder, efficient shots, and you'll be probably fine. But that's just me being, again, casual. Again, when it comes to Oprah side and TSO Sage, which again I'll leave a link in the description of their YouTube channels. Wow, those guys. I was very casual, and yeah, they the thing with them is that, I mean, my mic a little bit closer to a little bit more in the middle, is that TSO Sage is a Lakers fan. He loves Kobe. He loves the Lakers. He doesn't specify LeBron. He doesn't follow LeBron from his Cleveland days, his Miami Heat days, and his Laker days. He is a avid fan of the Lakers. He loves Kobe. With Oprah's side, he loves LeBron, and both of them are very passionate about Westbrook, and they were very passionate about Kyle Kuzma. Wow, they went off heavily about those two gentlemen. But yeah, I was very casual. Like, I am perfectly fine with Westbrook. He does his job. And again, I have no love nor hate for him. He's Russell Westbrook. So, this is where it gets kind of... Okay, cool. I was going to be worried for a minute. I thought my mouse was going to start acting up again. This is where it gets hairy, because there's certain players we do need to either move up or move down. I kind of move Marcus Smart up. And then Darren Fox. How do I feel about Darren Fox? Statistics are helpful. I mean, again, the eye test is also very significantly helpful to know if if they're actually improving or decreasing, so on and so forth. Oh, God. 5.6 assists on 2.8 turnovers. 23 points. 75% from the free throw line. 4.4 makes on 5.9 attempts. Which is actually his career high in free throw percentage. His career high was 3 years ago with 6.7. He's only making 4.7. So he's not the most efficient free throw shooter. 3-pointers, 29%. He only averages pretty much like one make on, pretty much 1.1 makes on 3.5 attempts on 32% from the three. And this is his going on his 6th year. He's now going to be turning 25. Could he improve? He could. That 29.7%, pretty much 30% from three worries me a lot for De'Aaron Fox. I want to put him at a C. That worries me a lot. His points went down. He hasn't really had a full healthy season. 4 years ago. Let me actually just move this over here real quick for you guys, so you guys can see this. He hasn't really had a full healthy season. 60 games, 81 games, 49, 58, and 59. That's a pretty big difference to help get them to the play-in / make the playoffs. Does it help them help his productivity is where I kind of am leery of. I know at the very end of the season they pretty much lost the opportunity to make the play-in tournament. So they pretty much tanked the rest of the season. But I'll probably move him to a C. I'm cool with this. Is this the final one? I like this. Do I want to move Trey Young down to a C? No. The guy is an absolute stud. I like his playmaking / facilitating. Does make quite a bit of his shots. I think I'm set. And the reason why I moved Mark Smart back up is that he is a lot better of a defender than Tyrese, the young bucks that I was wanting to put above him in Tyrese Halliburton, Shai, Kevin Porter Jr., Cade Cunningham, LaMelo Ball. I like those young players, but the defense that Mark Smart brings, he won Defensive Player of the Year this year? Yes, I am like 90% certain. DPOY NBA 2022. Mark Smart. That's a good reason to have him at an A. I kind of want to move him to an S, but the amount of the surrounding players around him doesn't help matters to have him at an S. 12 points on 10 attempts only, which the past 3 years he's actually had the most attempts the past 3 years. 11.4, 10.6, and 10.1 this past year. 10.1 on 41, 39.8, and 37.5. 31%, 33%, 34%. Wow. 1.5 makes on 4.8 attempts for 32% from 3. 79% from the free throw line. 5.9 assists on 2.2 turnovers, which is pretty solid. That 3-pointers worry me a lot. So Kyle moving back down, but then who goes back up? I could always have somebody go down 1. I just don't know who I'd have down 1. I want to end this video soon, so I'm trying to figure out who do I want, or do I just want to leave this as is? I never did talk about CJ McCollum. I like him at a B. He has the potential of becoming an A with the surrounding players that he has. Valanciunas, Valverde, Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, of course, Devontae Graham. They got a hell of a squad built around him that he's able to be able to, again, be that playmaking, facilitating guard that he wanted to be prior to getting traded to New Orleans. There was times that he even mentioned in his podcast that he wanted to be to have the opportunity to be the primary ball handler, and they just never really had that. He had that opportunity with Damian Lillard being his backcourt duo partner, so now he's able to be that, and I like him at the B. By golly, I want to move him down because his defense is pretty abysmal. It's gotten worse every year. Like his defense has gotten worse every single year. He is getting older, but he has helped them get into the play-in tournament and the playoffs, and he was pretty damn solid. CJ McCollum, I do love him a lot. This past year, New Orleans Pelicans, he averaged 24 points, and again, he played 26 games for them, and then played 82 games. No? 72 games? Because he was... Okay. He played 62 games. He played 36 for Portland and then 26 for New Orleans. 24 points, 20 points. So, 20 points he averaged in Portland. 24 points when he went to New Orleans. 4.5 assists to 5.8. 1.9 to 2.2. Which, going up 1.3 assists to only 0.3 turnovers, that's pretty efficient. 2.6 makes on 3.9 attempts at the free throw line. I like to see that number go up, but he does love shooting that mid range a lot. Wow, 2.7 makes at the 2.7 3-pointers made on 6.9 attempts per game at a 39.4% from 3. And his career is 39.6%, so nearly 40%, which is very efficient. 45% from the field is his career. 49% this past year. He was nearly 50, 40, 90. No. His free throws, his career high was 91%, and that was in 2016-2017 season. At 3.4 makes on 3.7 attempts was his career high. He hasn't really been amazing, but his attempts free throw attempts for the career is only 2.6. So he's not going to really ever be a 50-40-90 specifically guy, but he's pretty close again at 50-40 this past year with the New Orleans Pelicans. So I will keep him at a B. But I think, wow, that was an hour. I was not expecting that. I doubt this is going to be the best viewed video of mine, but the plan is that shooting guard is next up, and it's going to be a lot shorter. It's going to be like 2 minutes per player. Try to chop this down to like a half an hour at most, maybe in 20 minutes. I want to just be bang, 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 but I want to just get back in this flow of things when it comes to talking about the NBA, because we're back at it once more. With all of this being said, guys, on this video right here, I'll talk to you guys later.